What's going on, guys? It's me, Troy, and I'm back again with another video. And of course, I want to say thanks to everybody who recently commented, liked, and subscribed. And thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today I got my red hoodie on once again, and that means that although this is not really like a signature synonymous with talking about cozies per video, right? But I'm going to be talking about cozies again. I'm just trying to keep the formality here because the first two videos that I've talked about three cozies, popular cozy series that I absolutely adore. The second video was three popular cozy series that I was on the fence of, and keeping in tandem with that particular subject matter, this video is going to be me sharing two cozy mystery series that I absolutely am not going anywhere in. Okay, these two books, I think I barely even crest 30 pages before I decide to DNF them and ship them off to my public library's used bookstore to be sold, which is, I've got them from there in the first place, so they really be getting recycled stuff right back from me sometimes. Nonetheless, they are books that I also tried to read back in December, in relating continuity here with the books that I presented in the past two videos related to this series. So the first book is like a really popular series, first book in the series, a really popular author. You guys who are watching this video, chances are if you love these particular series, you are going to probably cuss me out in the comment section. But let me tell you, girl, you be careful with it though, okay? You might catch me on the right day. But alright, so moving right along, the first book that I want to share is The Long Quiche of Death by Avery Ames. I think her last name is Ames. I always love the name Avery, but Avery Ames. This is the first book in Avery's cheese shop mystery series. So the hook is that of cheese, which is one of my favorite foods. I love me some freaking, you know what, cheese. I love cheese. Girl, I love cheese. My favorite cheese is sharp cheddar cheese, like extra sharp. Extra. I'm not a connoisseur, I don't have these things that people got where they take the little flame and all that kind of stuff. I don't know all that about the cheese wheel. I don't know all that stuff. But I do know Kroger's be having sale on their cheese, alright? The extra sharp cheese. I do know that much. Anyway, keeping forward, the first book in this series follows the story of an amateur sleuth who is taking over her family business that is a cheese shop. At one point, her grandfather and her grandmother ran the business, but as geriatrics go, they're getting up in age, and Charlotte decides, she's going to take over. Charlotte opens up the book in this really interesting position where she's moving back to her hometown after, I can't remember, but I think she was either gotten a divorce or she was breaking up with a love interest of some sort. But she's moving back to her hometown. She sees her grandparents are getting up in age, so she takes over the cheese shop as it's always been a family business. But Charlotte has a number of different ideas as well, so she wants to implement some more creative ideas into the cheese shop, that one of them being wine and cheese, which is a very popular combo as is. But she just has these ideas, so she enlists some help from other residents within the community who are good at these type of things. But per the murder, one of the residents ends up being stabbed in front of Charlotte's shop, and then of course, she has to go about solving that crime as murder mysteries cozies go. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far in this book, and I'm going to go ahead and express that reason why. Well, quite simply put, and this is a pet peeve of mine from not only mystery, like it's a pet peeve that transcends sins of the father mysteries. Like any book that does this, it's going to be a high probability rate in which I'm not going to finish the book. And the issue is that, and it may sound superficial, but the issue is that the author presented way too many characters in that first chapter. Way too many. We already need, as a reader, to get to know Charlotte. I already need to know whether Charlotte's going to be a protagonist that I want to connect with as it regards her carrying me, the reader, throughout the mystery. But when you have this opening of Charlotte in the cheese shop, then here comes her grandfather, and I want to say her grandmother also. Here comes Charlotte's cousin. Here comes Charlotte's niece. Here comes Charlotte's, one of the other business owners into the shop. And here comes the lady that Charlotte, I want to say, is collaborating with in terms of combining the subject of cheese with wine. I don't know the exact details. I just know it was another lady that came in there. It was just, I was literally like, why are all these people coming up in here at one time? Why coming in here. You know, they open the door, bing, da ding, da ding, they go to bell. Oh Lord, here comes somebody else. Open the door, bing, da ding, da ding, here come the bell. Here, who is this girl coming in here? Girl, stop coming in here. All these characters, they kept coming into this daggone shop. And I was like, why are y'all, do y'all have space in here? Can we just get the customers come? Can we see first whether or not she can sell cheese? Alright. But that was it's one of my pet peeves. Too many characters being introduced very early on. And, you know, combining that with, you know, every single character has to have like their own story thread, a story arc of some sort, whether it's elaborated on or it's just skimmed over. Who has time to keep up with these people right now? They're not going to register that early on for me. And see, the other troubling thing I have with that is, as I said before in my other video, per mysteries, then the author has to try to make these characters likable. They have to make these characters relatable. And that comes into them throwing out these one-liners that, ironically speaking, were cheesy. Get it? Get it? You understand where I'm going with this? I see you. We see each other. But it was just too many characters coming in on stage. You know, it was just way too many characters coming in on stage. I disconnected right away. You know, they all had their own issues and their own traumas that we were about to get into, and it was just too much. So that is the reason why I ended up DNFing that book. I didn't think the work wasn't going to be worth it. I didn't feel like the work was going to be worth it trying to get into all those characters. The next book is actually Knit One, Kill Two by Maggie Sefton. I know I ended up DNFing this book and I ended up canceling my reading of the series, despite me wanting to read this series for so long, because, you know, I wanted to get into that knitting hook. Anyway, Knit One, Kill Two is kind of similar to the previous book I mentioned. It follows the story of a woman named Kelly Flynn. Kelly Flynn is moving into town after the burglary / murder of her aunt's knitting shop. The knitting shop was left to Kelly. Kelly moves into town. She takes over the shop, and all the other community residents and that sort of thing, they come in to the mystery and populate the shop. You know, they lost Kelly's aunt. The shop is still open. Let's come together as a community and make sure that this place maintains. Okay, so the reason that I DNF'd this book, which I actually think I DNF'd this one harder than the other one, if that makes any sense, which I'm sure it doesn't because it's coming out of my mouth. I DNF'd it because I couldn't relate to any of the supporting characters, and they were extremely irritating to me, like point blank period. Like, I'm sorry, they just were. Nonetheless, the similarities are quite the same. There were too many characters being introduced too very early on, and I did not care for either in any of them. It really primarily came down to this gaggle of maybe about 4 or 5 women around Kelly's age, and one was older, who were populating the shop, having a potluck. Potlucks. No, I don't eat potlucks. That was strike one. Y'all having a potluck. But they were having a potluck, and in the potluck they had pizza and spaghetti, stuff that didn't even go together. But, you know, this is what made me say, okay, this is not gonna work. But they all sat around the table, knitting with the pizza and spaghetti, talking about things that I just was like, I couldn't connect with. They were talking about drinking lots of coffee. They were talking about walking their dogs. Of course, they were talking about knitting. Of course, they were talking about the murder of, you know, the previous shop owner. And then there was this older lady who went throughout the room pointing out each of the different physical qualities of each of the girls. You know, one girl had the dark hair, the fair skin, and this thing. One girl had the blonde hair, and this thing. This girl, like it was like a group of Barbie dolls sitting around a damn table. I was just like, okay. But the number one thing that made me, and I know this is so random, but the number one thing that made me say, there's no way that I can read this book with these characters populating it, is when they started talking about how they wanted to split a cinnamon roll in half so that they can watch their calories intake. I was like, but y'all sitting up here eating spaghetti and pizza. I just knew at that point that I could see the main character slipping into that whole indoctrination of being just like these characters as they themselves come in and out of the shop doing some of the most annoying things that I see in mysteries. You know, there's going to be one girl talking about, girl, let's go walking. There's going to be one girl talking about, here's the latest gossip in town. And then there's going to be that one annoying girl who's going to come in the shop trying to hook the main protagonist, Kelly, up with the town police officer or somebody in that damn town. I was like, I know this is finna happen, and I'm not with it. I was like, I'm not with it. I'm not about to sit here with you girls looking like y'all coming off a Lifetime movie set. It was just like, it is not going to happen. So I ended up canceling my reading of Knit 1, Kill 2. Having wanted to read that book for so long, it was just like, I cannot, as a reader, hang around with these girls and this gaggle of things or conversations that they're going to be going into. I just knew it wasn't going to happen. So that is it, guys. Those are the 2 mystery series that I read in December that really did not work for me at all. I know this is just my opinion. It's just, you know, look, my channel is about, like, you know, you can just share what you thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you like these series? You know, why? If you didn't, then don't as well. But I think that one of the things is I like to try to be honest so that whatever I'm talking about in the book, it could be a space for people who felt the same. Because, you know, sometimes people don't want to, you know, they don't want to be honest about how they feel about a book. But this is a safe space to go ahead and be honest if you didn't like a book, because, girl, chances are I can connect. But that is it. Leave me a comment down below about your feelings of these books. And maybe I missed something. You know, if there's something that you feel like I may have missed, then share below. Because, you know, as the old saying goes, never say never. But anyway, that's it. I gotta go. See y'all later. Peace.